Jurickson Profar is back, but where exactly does he fit on this loaded Padres offense? Plus, what else do the Padres need to get done this offseason? I'm AJ Cassavell, and these are your daily bases. I think the Padres' decision to re-sign Profar turned a few heads in the same way that their decision to sign Ha-Sung Kim turned a few heads, in that these are two extremely valuable offensive players who probably could have gotten everyday regular jobs on a different major league team, and instead they came to San Diego, where they've essentially been relegated to a bench role. But they're going to play, and I think Profar is clearly going to play, even though on paper he's probably the 10th best offensive option. He's a switch hitter who can play all 3 outfield spots, all 4 infield spots. There's going to be playing time available for him, especially in a 162-game season versus what we saw in 60 last year. So he's going to have playing time, even if on paper he took this job to be a bench player. So how much is left for the Padres to get done transaction-wise this offseason? It's an interesting question, I think, because they could make a fringe addition toward the back end of their bench, and they could probably use an upgrade in their bullpen, whether it's at the back end, whether it's in the middle innings and you push Pomerantz and Pagan to the back end. But AJ Preller said something interesting the last time he spoke with the media. He basically said that if this is the team we go into the season with, we're happy. And so I think that's probably the Padres' philosophy moving forward the rest of this offseason is they'll explore the relief market. They'll explore the bench market. If they go into the season with this roster, they think it's an upgraded roster. They think they can compete, and I don't think many people would argue with the additions they've made this winter. Here's one thing that would definitely help the Padres pitching staff from top to bottom: a healthy Dinelson Lamet. Now, Lamet, in his progression, has gotten to where he's throwing off a mound. He's basically gone through his normal progression this offseason. He's shown no ill effects from the injury that sidelined him for the postseason last year, the kind of biceps elbow injury that it's murky exactly what went on there. He had a PRP injection. The Padres are still optimistic that they'll have him in there, and if they have him in there, they obviously have a 3-headed monster in Lamet, Snell, and Yu Darvish. And lastly, the Hall of Fame announced the voting results from the Baseball Writers Association. No players in from this class. Last year's class will still be inducted this summer. But there was one noteworthy Padres development on that front. Gary Sheffield saw a huge jump in his support from 30.5% last year to 40.6% this year. He's in his 7th season on the ballot, so he might be running out of time to reach that 75% threshold. But still, his resume is right up there among plenty of Hall of Famers. 509 career home runs, 60.5 career WAR, and just some extremely gaudy offensive numbers. So Gary Sheffield, a nice jump this year. We'll see where he ends up down the road.